We've been looking at the evolution of medieval armour over a period of years, but of course that evolution hasn't stopped. Armour is still used today. How does the armour of a medieval warrior compare to modern police armour today? Let's find out. I'm here with Dan and Liam, who are professionals in this area. They're professionals in police armour because they use it, and I'm fascinated to see them actually put the armour on. We've got it all laid out here, and there's lots and lots of protective bits and pieces. Do you want to actually start arming up? Because it's fascinating to see how similar the process is or isn't. You've got your knuckle protection, you've got your individual fingers protected there. These are overlapping more because the threat's different, and arguably totally different materials. This is modern plastics and this is plate steel. This is quite light and it's heavily decorated because this would have been supplied to somebody who was buying his armour for himself. But it still needs to be flexible. You've got to be flexed. You've got to do stuff in your armour, which is a lot of people forget. They forget that you've actually got to be able to move and work in your armour. And there's a certain amount of flexibility, again, to do stuff there. So hand protection, absolutely essential, and forearm as well. We're just going to have a look at the helmet. So you've got, it's actually, when you compare like for like, you've obviously got the crown here. We've literally got the visor, but your visor's made of transparent material and my visor has a slot. I'd have a gorget here which would protect my neck as well, but you've got the neck protection as part of the overalls. And you've also got, what's fascinating, you've got the back of the neck protection, and this is what this forms as well. So there's quite a few hundred years between these, but isn't that wonderful? The design, the form and function are exactly the same. It's got to protect a man's vulnerable neck there, it's got to protect the crown of the head. It's padded and strapped inside in not dissimilar way because it's got to fit a human head, and you've got to stop it from coming off. So you've got the strap that goes under your chin to hold it on. I'd wear this probably with a padded coif, which is sort of integral to this modern helmet. The materials are completely different. This is made of steel, and I don't know, how does that, actually, it's basically the same weight. So the human head and neck can only actually function with a certain weight of stuff on it. I find it fascinating that this is Viking era shield from just post-Roman. It's held in a different way to the police modern shield, but basically it's a round piece of protection that is held in the hand and is flexible and can be moved. Different kind of mounting on the back of it, and it's a different material, and interestingly this is a lot lighter than this, but basically it does the same job. This is slightly bigger, made of wood, but it protects you. It's useful to have it out there, and of course thousands of years of conflict and the shield is still in use today. I just find that absolutely wonderful as a connection to the past. I am going to try and persuade these gentlemen to let me try the police armour on, because of course I have a lot of experience of medieval armour and I'm fascinated to actually try this stuff on. So, you up for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
You let me have a go?
Yeah.
Now, back of the knee, there's a manuscript we've got from the 14th century that says how a man shall be armed. First of all, it says he should take his ease, which we interpret to mean going to the loo, because you will know, and I know, that best thing is to go to the loo before you put the armour on. It's not impossible to go when you've got it on, but it's a little more awkward. So let's assume I've taken my ease and I'm now putting on the greaves. Now these feel very, very familiar. In fact, they feel a bit thicker and chunkier. Velcro makes a big difference. That changes the speed of arming quite dramatically, because you can just do that, whereas I would have to tie this on with points that actually literally go to about like this.
A big advantage of modern materials.
Yeah, yes, yeah. But so far, the only thing that's different is the colour. I'd say they feel a bit sort of chunkier because the material is different. They're not that dissimilar in weight. They're probably a little lighter, and they don't make that much noise either. That's the other thing. A medieval knight makes a lot of noise. Right, this
is the belly belt that goes on underneath.
Right. This is the bit where I'm very used to just standing here and being armed. It's quite funny that it still happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible to do it yourself.
Yeah, but again, teamwork would enable you to probably arm up more quickly. Two people can kind of arm each other.
It's a buddy-buddy system.
Yes, and that helps build camaraderie, and camaraderie is really important.
So
right.
You slide your arm in.
Like this. And then...
These might be a bit loose on you.
Ah, yeah, because... Yeah, they are. That's all right.
It's harder than it looks.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? Right. And then, right up. Because of the volume, you've got some sort of elements of padding in this too.
And particularly for fire, it keeps that heat a bit further away.
There's a physical gap, distance. Yeah.
And you'll probably find your eyesight is restricted once again.
Yeah, and that goes over the nose, is it?
Yes, it does.
Thank you. Right.
So as the helmet goes on, you have to pull it apart and slide it over.
Right.
We put the gloves on last because it makes it easier to put the rest of the kit on.
Right. Like that.
So you put your strong arm to take your baton.
Now, apart from the helmet, it's not too dissimilar, to be honest. It's you're quite enclosed, and this is reasonably restrictive on breathing, but this is for fire protection. This feels very light compared to a medieval shield, much more flexible, very strong. This feels quite short compared to a medieval sword. So, but broadly speaking, it's a very similar experience. I'm heating up as well in the same way. It actually feels quite light and quite flexible. It's actually more, I think it's less restrictive than the medieval armour, but it does feel quite protective, and it gives you a certain self-confidence and ability. And if you trust your armour, that's going to increase your morale, and it's going to make you a better warrior, basically. If your kit is good and you know how to use it and it's gone on properly and you're surrounded by people who are on your side, who are going to back you up, it gives you a psychological advantage. This feels quite a kind of modern version of a knight in armour, which is wonderful to think that the experience of the modern police force is actually very similar to that would have been experienced by the medieval knight. Gentlemen, that has been a proper pleasure. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to use the notification button, and we will see you next time.